Good Thursday afternoon, everyone. I'm Carlos Silva, the Recon 247 editor, followed by Krista Pearl, our Red Raiders expert in basketball. Thought we'd join you here on RedRaiders.com for a quick little talk about a huge upset last night, Krista. Number 3, Oklahoma toppled by Texas Tech, 65-63. I guess let's just kind of talk about it a little bit. I guess what happened in that game?
Well, we knew that Texas Tech needed to play defense, and they hadn't really played superb defense until really the second half of the Baylor game, and that carried over against Oklahoma. You look at it, Buddy Hield starts out making the first 10 points for Oklahoma, and you think, well, here we go again for the Buddy show. And then Texas Tech just starts throwing different guys at him, and that kind of gets him off his game. He finishes with 16 points on the inside defensively. The guys did a great job, even though they were undersized. Ryan Spangler had only 5 points, Kadeem Latin with nothing, so the interior defense was great.
And just talking about the Buddy show, the last time they were in Norman, 30 points for him, 16 points here, which was 10 below his average. Huge play there by Justin Gray, CJ Williamson, just all the guys. Keenan Evans, another one that you kind of mentioned in your column that'll be coming out on Friday, that has just really stepped up on the offensive end and on the defensive end as well.
Yeah, I just want to touch on the Buddy thing real fast. We keep saying that this guy's had a down game and he had 16 points. I mean, it's just absurd. But with these guys, a lot of the guys that are on the rise are these sophomores. You've got Justin Gray doing well. Keenan Evans over the last 3 games-ish is averaging like 14 points a game, so he's doing well. Zach Smith is just as consistent as ever, and while the sophomores are getting a lot of the attention, Aaron Ross, man, is just stepping in there. He is making the shots he needs to make from the free throw line. He's towards the top 3, I think, in the Big 12 in free throw shooters. He's making the 3-point shot, so he is also a huge key for Texas Tech.
Not only that, but then it's just nice to kind of see him kind of step in, especially after those 2 ACL injuries, and just kind of seeing him really turn into a 3-point threat. And I know you kind of mentioned it on Twitter, but he's really stretching out the defense, kind of taking out the bigs for Oklahoma, which was huge because Kadeem Latin wasn't in the post necessarily, which allowed CJ Williamson, Keenan Evans, Todrick Gocher, and everyone else to kind of really drive and make some plays.
Yeah, and so that's really what happened when Norrance went out. So when he goes out, you have Matthew Temple, who's starting in at the 5, and he started well against Oklahoma, had a very quiet, good game. And then they've got Rokas, who maybe isn't up there as much with knowing all the plays and what's expected of him. So then Aaron Ross goes to the 5, and what that does, he's on the biggest guy on the other team. Texas Tech all season has done a great job of when the ball goes inside to double down, so they're used to that. But then Aaron, he can defend if their 5 goes out on the perimeter, and then offensively he stretches them out. So that also opens a lot of driving lanes for Tech, which that's what the Red Raiders are good at. They drive in, either get fouled or they finish, or both, and that's been great for them.
I guess just a quick little summary. I guess in the last 2 minutes, I guess that's where you could really make the biggest difference. Todrick Gocher makes one of his only 3-pointers of the game, gets him up by 1, and then after that, Texas Tech goes on an 8-2 run and close that out with Keenan Evans making 5 of his 14 points. I guess if you kind of look at that, I guess what are some of the things that you can kind of take away from, and then we'll kind of go into some of the turning talk that everyone's obviously.
It's the hustle plays. One stat that's huge for Texas Tech and Coach Smith is deflections. Todrick hits the 3, runs back on defense, gets a deflection that ends up in Keenan's hands, and then Keenan goes down and scores the layup. And then you see Oklahoma break out on a 4-0 fast break, it seems, and then Todrick's there. But in that final 2 minutes, Texas Tech was poised. They came down, they had possession. Keenan put up a 3-pointer. It didn't fall. Texas Tech gets the offensive rebound. Then Oklahoma has to foul.
Yes.
So usually in that round, Texas Tech is playing catch up to try to force overtime to get a last-second win. Then they were in control, and that was huge.
Not only that, but the ball bounced their way, as you mentioned. Keenan Evans missed that key 3, got the rebound, had to go to free throws. Obviously, they made them as they took away a huge victory at home in Lubbock. Let's just go into it. NCAA tournament talk. Are they a possibility, or I guess what are your thoughts on that?
If the season ended today, they're in. If you look at it a week and 2 days ago, people were asking, does Tech have any caliber wins, any huge wins? Well, here you go. Number 14, Iowa State, number 21, Baylor, and number 3, Oklahoma. Those are all huge. But if Tech's like, all right, we're done, okay, they won't go to any postseason. Yes, they do have the number 3 strength of schedule, but I think they need to get to 8 and 10 in the Big 12 right now. They're at 6 and 7, so they go at Oklahoma State. They beat Oklahoma State here in overtime. John Evans, he didn't play against Kansas. The Cowboys moved a point guard. We don't know his status yet. It's always tough to play in Stillwater, But if Texas Tech plays like they did in Waco, they can get it done. And they come home against TCU, no games or gimmies in the Big 12. But that should be a win. Go on the road to Kansas. Still, the Big 12 title goes through Lawrence. Let's just be real.
Yes.
And then they go on the road at West Virginia. They had them pretty much down to the wire here. Can they take care of the basketball on the road and handle that environment? And then they come home and host Kansas State, which K-State had its best shooting performance of like ever.
Correct.
When Texas Tech played up in Manhattan. So Texas Tech really can get it done, and I think they will get it done.
Well, I think the biggest difference, and you kind of mentioned it earlier as we were talking, is the defense has really stepped in. And I think if they're able to play good defense, which before, I want to say the last 3 games, they were allowing teams to shoot about 50% or more from the field. So I think if they're able to do that, take care of business at home, which like you said, TCU, KSU could be some pretty decent ones there. But the other thing is just really kind of take care of business, as you kind of mentioned. It's just interesting when you kind of look at the team that they were to now. They've certainly grown with all the sophomores, Keenan Evans and everyone else, but the other X factor as well is when will Norris come back? Because obviously he's coming off that broken foot. How will he kind of insert himself into this offense, especially with the fact that now Keenan Evans has opened things up along with Aaron Ross, who's now kind of stretching it. Will they be even more potent now with Norris in the post? So I guess, Chris, some final thoughts from you, because it's just going to be an interesting time for Texas Tech as the stretch run happens.
And going back to the deal with Norris, if the timeline goes as expected, he should be back before the K-State game. And then you look at conditioning. I mean, mentally he's all there. Coach Smith said against Iowa State that he was coaching just as much as he was on the sidelines. But then you look at how much this Tech team has grown, and it's about time for me to start picking out, different awards and stuff.
Correct.
And in my head, and if Tech keeps it up, Tubby Smith might just be Big 12 Coach of the Year. I know he's got some competition with Shaka Smart at Texas, Huggins doing his thing at West Virginia. Bill Self gets a Kansas team that doesn't seem as talented, and they might just win 12 straight. It's going to be a tough call, but Tubby Smith could be up there for sure.
Well, Texas Tech is the only team in the Big 12 to beat 3 top 25 ranked opponents. So I guess you've got that for Tubby Smith. But I guess in terms of that, obviously we'll finish that up. The talk about NCAA tournament for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Not only that, but keep it on RedRaiders.com to get all your information from Krista Pirtle, our men's basketball writer. And as always, if you need any recruiting information, go to Recom247.com. That's where I'll be, Carlos Silva, your editor for Recom247.com. We appreciate you watching. We'll see you next week.